KC24 brings you a lifestyle show from women you know. Now, Central Valley Today.
It has been described as blasphemous, profane, and even offensive, but the Book of Mormon is also considered one of the funniest musicals of all time, winning 9 Tony Awards, including Best Musical.
That's right, I'm laughing already. This outrageous musical comedy follows the misadventures of a mismatched pair of missionaries sent halfway across the world to spread the good word. It's embarking on a national tour and hitting the stage at the Saroyan Theater through October 7th. You have got to go see it. We are lucky enough to have with us today a cast member, Andy Huntington-Jones, who plays Elder McKinley. Andy, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I just laughed thinking about it. I have been lucky enough to see it, but for folks who haven't, why should they go see this show?
Well, right now I'm struck by all these adjectives to describe my job. My job is profane and offensive. It's such a funny show. It's a show about religion, but it's also a show about humanity and friendship, and there is definitely that South Park language, but it does serve this bigger heart, this message about being a human being. Yeah, you got to see it. It's a huge hit. And if you've already seen it, come back.
Come see it again.
And if you haven't seen it yet, you got to check it out. You really got to.
Tell me about your character, Elder McKinley.
Yes, I play Elder McKinley. He's the head of the missionaries in this part of Africa where our main characters come to try and convert people to the faith. And it's not going very well. They're not getting very many people joining the church, and he kind of handles it with the Mormon energy of like, things aren't going well, but that's okay. Yeah, so that's kind of what I do in the show. It's very positive. There's a lot of denial, and it's fun for the audience to see these characters in this amount of denial about how poorly things are going.
Yes, I love that. And you talk about the music.
It's written by Bobby Lopez, who wrote the music for Frozen. He's one of the recent EGOT winners, Emmy, Grammy,
Oscar and Tony.
What was the third one? The music is fantastic. He also wrote Avenue Q. Yeah, I've done the show hundreds of times now, and I still will like hum the music around the house. My wife has seen the show like 20 times, and she hasn't gotten sick of it.
Wow. Wow, Andy, you've been, on Broadway doing Cats, I believe, right?
I did Cats, Bullets Over Broadway, and Cinderella.
Wow. How do you feel about touring and taking the show to different parts of the city? Because obviously it's a different vibe, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I mean, we keep going to all these different theaters, so the shape of the theater is different, and the population is different that we're coming to give this story to. And we had our first show last night, and there's always this question mark in our hearts about how will this city respond to this subject matter, and people have been really receptive to it.
Good.
And I guess the difference about doing a show on tour versus on Broadway is in New York, people fly for this tourist experience and stay in a hotel and see this show in Times Square, but here we're in your backyard, and it's
super special. We can't take it for granted, folks. That's why you need to buy your tickets right now, BroadwayandFresno.com, or at the box office. And we want to mention that if you can't get tickets for whatever reason, there's a lottery that starts 2 hours before showtime.
We have some pretty good availability for the rest of the week through Sunday, but if you'd like to get a cheaper ticket, you can do that with the lottery 2 hours before.
That'd be fun.
Did you kick off the tour here in Fresno? Is that what I understand? Or where did you kick off the tour, and how many more cities do you have to visit?
The tour, this is a huge blockbuster. This is the second tour that's gone through the country, and this company has been going for 5 years.
Wow.
I just joined in January, but we're going kind of indefinitely.
Wow.
Yeah, and the tour's been to Fresno before, and so we're kind of backed by popular demand.
Well, we're so glad you have. The Williams Saroyan Theater, everybody. It started last night, runs till October 7th. Ticket prices are around $25 and up. I mean, it's just going to be dynamite.
Yeah. And really quickly, Andy, tell me a little bit about audience etiquette. Okay? Because I think that's really important. I mean, I have to be honest. I was at a show where I whispered something and I got yelled at by one of the audience members. So no talking, right?
Well, this is actually kind of this type of a show breaks that mold. I would say keep your phones off. Really keep your phones off. Don't text on your phones. But there's a laugh like every 30 seconds in the show. So this idea of definitely don't hold an unrelated conversation, but it's a very verbally responsive show. People are laughing the whole time.
And trust me, you will not be bored.
You won't be bored.
You will be laughing
and
you'll be engaged. And we can't wait to see you, Andy, up there. Don't forget, everybody, get your tickets for Book of Mormon. Thanks so much for your time.
It's great to meet you guys.
Yeah, break a leg.
Thank you.
Still to come, everybody. We're going to sit down with the Fresno State professor behind the book, Hitler's American Friends, How It's Gaining